What weekend just passed? Like BET Award weekend, it didn't, like the past two, they just didn't feel right. Because there was no motion, there was no parties. There was nowhere to go. Like,
let's be very specific between parties and freak-offs.
No.
Time for you to tell the truth. It's time. Bow Wow. It's time. Tell the truth.
Wait, hold up. What do you mean Bow Wow misses Diddy after all those shady and downright gross accusations flying around about him? Oh, he better not be joking, because if he is, this leaked footage making rounds might just turn the tables on him real quick.
So you got different levels of, but you got horny men, and then you got real horny men.
That man is Big Homie CC, the same bodyguard who dropped some extra spicy footage of Bow Wow getting his freak on at one of Diddy's infamous parties. Let me tell you, the tea just keeps getting hotter. Apparently, Bow Wow wasn't just a guest at these wild events. Oh no, insiders are saying he was the main attraction. Yeah, the headliner, the VIP experience, the whole 3-course meal for Diddy and his crew to enjoy. What's even wilder? Word on the street is Bow Wow not only participated, but may have been recording these encounters. Now here's the big question. Is Bow Wow just another victim of a sketchy and predatory industry? Or did he actually enjoy being the life of the party at Diddy's freak-offs?
Bow Wow said ever since Diddy got in all his legal trouble, there ain't no popping parties in Hollywood. Bow Wow said he never saw it coming, and now the days of his great parties are over.
It's like the gatekeeper to the game. Like BET Award weekend, it didn't, like the past two, they just didn't feel right. Because there was no motion, there was no parties.
So, Bow Wow has been making headlines lately, and not for the best reasons. His questionable ties to Diddy have folks giving him some serious side-eye. We all know Bow Wow isn't exactly the smoothest operator in hip-hop, so of course he had something awkward to say about the whole Diddy situation. On Roxy Davis's podcast, he started reminiscing about how much he missed Diddy's parties, claiming the industry has been boring since Diddy's legal troubles began. He even went on this long-winded rant about how he never thought Diddy's story would end like this, painting this bizarre picture of Diddy chilling on a yacht with his wife instead of being caught up in all this drama. But here's where things get messy. Bow Wow faced major backlash because, seriously, how do you miss parties where so many people have come forward with horrific allegations? The real tea? Some folks weren't shocked at all by Bow Wow's comments. Rumor has it that he enjoyed these events for more than just the vibe, allegedly bending over for the rich and powerful in exchange for career perks. Rumors have been swirling that Bow Wow was introduced to a darker side of the industry by his mentors when he was just a kid. Let's take it back to where it all began. Bow Wow's career kicked off like a dream. At just 6 years old, he caught the attention of none other than Snoop Dogg, who was so impressed with his rapping skills that he invited him to perform on stage alongside legends like Snoop himself and Dr. Dre. During one performance, Snoop introduced the young prodigy to the crowd, saying, "This is Bow Wow. Y'all hear that? He's the future." And from that moment, Bow Wow was officially on the map. Not only did Snoop take him under his wing, but he also gave him the nickname Lil Bow Wow and brought him along for the rest of his tour. Bow Wow even got a feature on Snoop's iconic Doggy Style album. But as Bow Wow's career started to rise, things behind the scenes began to shift. Snoop was dealing with mounting issues with his label, Death Row Records. The East Coast-West Coast beef was at its peak, and the tensions were so high that rappers were losing their lives. Fearing for his own safety and future, Snoop left the label. However, he didn't want to leave young Bow Wow stranded. That's when he introduced Bow Wow to Jermaine Dupri, a powerhouse producer in the industry. Now here's where the story takes a darker turn. Whispers in the industry claim that this introduction might have been the beginning of Bow Wow's troubles. Allegedly, Jermaine Dupri didn't just mentor him musically. Word on the street suggests that Bow Wow was exploited during this time and even passed around to other powerful figures in the industry, including Diddy, for unspeakable acts. And it's no shocker to some that Jermaine Dupri's name has been tangled in accusations like this before. Comedian Cat Williams even called him out years ago. Cat didn't mince words when he exposed Jermaine and Diddy for allegedly messing with kids, even dubbing Jermaine as the king of PDF files. According to Cat, this wasn't new behavior for Jermaine, who had allegedly taken advantage of young boys under his mentorship, including the duo Crisscross.
You've got 7 grandkids now.
Yes.
Do they call you Snoop,
They
Grandpa?
call me Papa Snoop.
What kind of gramps are you?
You can get away with anything with me. Whatever your parents won't let you do, come over here. You can't eat candy, can't watch TV late night, you can't do this. I'm the can man.
Crisscross, made up of Chris Mac Daddy Kelly and Chris Daddy Mac Smith, became a sensation in the 90s under Jermaine's guidance. But the glitz and glamour masked a darker narrative. Chris Kelly unfortunately passed away in 2013 from a drug overdose, sparking rumors that he was battling deep trauma stemming from his time with Jermaine. Speculation ran wild that Chris turned to substances to cope with these alleged horrors he faced. When the news of Chris's death broke, Jermaine publicly acted heartbroken, calling Chris the son I never had in a statement. He proclaimed, "Chris Kelly was Mac Daddy, but to me, he was the son I never had. I spent more time with Chris than anybody in my whole life. This hurts so much." It all seemed like a touching tribute until you scratched the surface. Not long after, Jermaine's demeanor in an interview about Chris left fans with raised eyebrows. When asked about Chris on Vlad TV, Jermaine seemed anything but genuine. He fumbled through the conversation, acting distracted and detached, even struggling to recall Chris's name.
Oh, you talking about? All right.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
And then one of the members passes.
No.
Not right after, but years later.
Yeah, years later.
He passes at a relatively young age. Was it 30-something?
Yeah, I think so.
For someone who claimed to be devastated, his lack of sincerity was glaring. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors circulated that Chris and Jermaine had a falling out before his death. Fans speculated that Jermaine's public grief was nothing more than damage control. One fan even accused Jermaine of trying to bury the truth, referencing an alleged lawsuit where Chris sued Jermaine for SA. The lawsuit reportedly resulted in a win for Chris, but was kept out of the public eye. Although Jermaine threatened to sue over the claims, fans weren't convinced. Interestingly, a video recently made its way around, where a bodyguard from the infamous Tunnel nightclub shared some interesting details about Bow Wow's younger years. He revealed that when Bow Wow was around 15 or 16, an older woman took advantage of him. At the time, Bow Wow was under the mentorship of Jermaine Dupri, which raised questions about Jermaine's role in Bow Wow's protection. Unfortunately, there were also rumors that Bow Wow might have been taken advantage of by one of Jermaine's male bodyguards in a limo, but Bow Wow has denied these claims. Although he addressed the rumors, his careful choice of words led some fans to believe there might be more to the story that he wasn't ready to share. Bow Wow was candid about the first major rumor that hit him early in his career. He recalled being in Paris when a bizarre rumor spread about him being SA'd by his bodyguard. He dismissed it as absurd and mentioned how rumors like that were just part of the fame game.
There's been the crazy rumor that you got raped by your security guard.
That's fucking ridiculous. That's crazy.
You've heard that before.
Yeah, that was like the first rumor that ever had came out. I'll never forget that shit. I was in Paris, France. I was in Paris coming back to the States. And I was going through the airport. I believe I was going to Philly. And I had to call into the radio station and just clear that shit up. It never really, it never was really nothing crazy. Cause like I said, people gonna talk, people gonna make up stuff, people gonna say things. That's just a part of the game.
But it doesn't end there. Bow Wow's ex-girlfriend, Erica Mena, shed light on how some of his early career struggles left him deeply affected. She opened up about how Bow Wow, due to his past trauma, sometimes directed his anger toward her. She described their relationship as having both highs and lows, with moments of greatness, but also significant challenges.
When you finally get to know someone, that's when you really have to reevaluate, and people just have certain demons that they have to deal with. I have my own, and coming into that relationship, I didn't really know what I was getting into until, we kind of really did settle in, and settling in was definitely a lot of life lessons.
Now, if Bow Wow went through tough and traumatic experiences in the industry, it's no surprise that those emotions might come out in unhealthy ways, like lashing out at others. Still, that doesn't mean it's okay to hurt or be violent towards anyone. It's a reminder that unhealed wounds can create cycles of pain. Speaking of troubled paths, Bow Wow's story feels a lot like Orlando Brown's. Orlando was once a rising star with a bright future ahead of him. He played major roles in multiple Disney movies, and everyone thought he was set to be the next big thing in Hollywood. But somewhere along the way, things went completely off the rails. Orlando's problems started showing up in April 2007 when he got pulled over for a traffic violation in Texas. During the stop, police found smoke in his car, and he ended up getting arrested. Around that time, he was trying to kickstart a music career, but things weren't really working out for him. Then in 2011, Orlando was arrested again, this time for driving under the influence in Hollywood. That was when it became clear that he was struggling with substances and alcohol, and it seemed like his life was spiraling out of control. The following years only got messier. By 2013, he found himself sentenced to 180 days in jail after being arrested for yet another DUI. The trouble didn't stop there. In 2014, a leaked audio recording allegedly caught Orlando making threats towards a woman and her family. Orlando later claimed she was just a stalker who wouldn't stop blowing up his phone. Still, he ended up being charged with disturbing the peace. Now, for a while, it seemed like Orlando might be turning things around. He even landed a few movie roles, which gave fans hope that he was getting back on track. But by 2016, things took a sharp turn again. He found himself in trouble with the law for mistreating his girlfriend and getting caught with substances he allegedly intended to sell. To make matters worse, Orlando started skipping his court appearances, leaving everyone wondering where he had disappeared to. It wasn't until police tracked him down to a sketchy Las Vegas hotel that people realized just how far off the rails he had gone. His family and friends decided enough was enough and staged an intervention, desperate to help him turn his life around. They managed to get him into a rehab facility, hoping it would give him the time and space to heal. Unfortunately, Orlando left the program after just 1 week, abandoning the chance for a fresh start. Not long after, a bizarre video surfaced online. It showed Orlando walking around barefoot, holding what looked like a case of wine. In the background, you could hear a man shouting at him, threatening to knock him out if he got too close to his house.
Knocked out, God! Bro, I'm chilling, bro.
Get away from my house, yo.
I'm away from your house. Hit me. I'm away. I'm off your
If
property.
you come back over there, I'm gonna knock you the
I'm off your property.
You wait over here for the police.
I'm off your property.
Don't come back.
This situation pretty much confirmed that Orlando wasn't just battling a serious addiction, he was also homeless. Sadly, reports later revealed that his struggles ran even deeper. Orlando's mental health began to spiral after allegedly experiencing some horrific things at the hands of powerful men in the entertainment industry. Over the years, Orlando has opened up about these claims in various interviews, where he described being exploited by elites in Hollywood. In one of his most shocking rants, he even name-dropped some high-profile figures, accusing them of being inappropriate with him. Among the names he mentioned were Will Smith and Michael Jackson, which left many people stunned, and questioning the dark side of the industry.
You a up person. Yes, Will Smith is Michael Jackson, my nigga. This shit got me up, bro.
In another shocking interview, Orlando Brown talked about what he called the panda eye ritual. According to him, this is a dark and secretive practice that happens behind closed doors in Hollywood. He claimed it involves manipulating specific nerves in a person's body, making it easier for them to be controlled. The result? Victims end up with bruised, blackened eyes, which insiders in these circles call panda eyes. Orlando explained this ritual in disturbing detail, saying it's used to turn victims, often young men and boys in the entertainment industry, into whatever their so-called masters want them to be. He said, "There's a certain nerve in your rectum. If you touch that nerve, you can turn a person into an animal or whatever you want them to be. That's why you see celebrities with those black eyes. They didn't get beat up the way you think. They got beat up somewhere else." But the claims didn't stop there. Orlando connected the ritual to something even darker, human teaking. He alleged that some of the smiling faces we see in Target or Walmart commercials are actually teaking victims. According to Orlando, these victims are trapped in a nightmare and being sent back to hell while pretending to live normal, happy lives. At first, many people dismissed these claims as wild conspiracy theories, but Orlando didn't back down. He insisted that these things were real and that he had experienced the horrors of Hollywood firsthand. In another interview with Cam Capone, Orlando dropped more shocking accusations. This time he talked about Diddy, claiming the music mogul had done inappropriate things to him at one of his infamous parties. Orlando's words were cryptic as usual, saying things like, "Diddy gave me the ushkamash." While no one could figure out exactly what he meant, the suggestion was clear enough to make jaws drop. As if this wasn't wild enough, Orlando made headlines again when an old video of him resurfaced. In the clip, he claimed,
Lil Bow Wow was on there.
You got a problem with Lil Bow Wow?
I ain't got a problem with Lil Bow Wow. Lil Bow Wow got some bomb-ass pussy.
Yes, that's exactly what he said. The internet exploded with reactions, with people debating whether Orlando was just being his usual unpredictable self or hinting at something deeper. When asked about Bow Wow in another interview, Orlando didn't hold back. He hinted that Bow Wow might have been exposed to the same dark industry secrets that he had. Social media lit up with theories, with fans trying to figure out if Orlando was spilling real tea or just stirring up drama for attention. Eventually, someone tagged Bow Wow on Twitter, asking if he was going to let Orlando's comments slide. Bow Wow responded saying, "Since when do legends have to speak on everything? I'm working on my new TV show and getting ready for a sold-out show at the O2 Arena for the Millennium Tour." He added, "I don't play those games. You know who you're talking to, right? I'm a grown man, Damon." But Bow Wow didn't stop there. He also claimed people only mentioned his name for clout. While that might be true to some extent, many questioned whether Bow Wow was deflecting. After all, while he was a huge star back in the day, he's not exactly the talk of the town anymore. The situation got even more interesting when Diddy's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, weighed in. According to him, there are secrets about Bow Wow's past that only insiders know. Secrets that might explain Orlando's strange comments. In a recent interview, CC didn't hold back when spilling the tea about Diddy's infamous parties. He painted a vivid picture of what went down at these wild events, where the lines between reality and absurdity seemed to blur. According to CC, there's a reason Bow Wow was a regular at these gatherings, and it wasn't just for the vibe. He claimed Bow Wow had a side hustle as a party favor, a role that involved being part of what CC called freak-offs. One story stood out more than the rest. CC described walking into a room at one of these parties, only to stumble upon something so bizarre it felt straight out of a comedy sketch. He saw a man in a mascot costume grinding on another man in a similar outfit right there on the floor. While CC didn't name names, his hints made it clear who he was referencing to, and fans couldn't help but connect the dots to Bow Wow.
You might have had an idea about him, then you see him like, there ain't no way that this person's doing this with that or doing this like that or whatever.
No.
Okay, yeah, he said, goddamn, I can't do that.
No. Like after my first year of being working with celebrities, I figured out what it was. I said, oh, so they all like this.
But it wasn't just about Bow Wow's presence. CC painted a picture of these parties as playgrounds for debauchery, where attendees were essentially hired to indulge in whatever their hearts or hormones desired. "You're at a party where everybody's working," he explained. "You can pull anyone you want, male or female, to a bathroom for, a job. Of course you're going to miss that kind of environment." The wild claims didn't stop there. When asked if he was ever surprised by the celebrities he saw at these events, CC hesitated but admitted, "After a year of working with celebs, I figured it out. A lot of them don't even drink. It's not about alcohol. It's just them. You've got different levels of people. Horny and real horny." Well, that definitely explains a lot. Now, as for Diddy, things are about to get real interesting. Peacock isn't the first one to dive into the documentary game when it comes to the charges against Sean Diddy Combs. TMZ got the ball rolling earlier in April 2024 with their own special, and not long after, 2020 and Nightline jumped on the bandwagon. But it's NBC Universal streaming service that's really stirring the pot with a trailer for their upcoming special, Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy. The 90-minute documentary is set to air on January 14th, and it promises to pull back the curtain on everything, from the explosive allegations against Diddy to his rise to fame and power in the music industry. And you know what that means? This documentary is about to bring some of the most shocking details to light. We might get to see some things and some celebrities that we thought were squeaky clean, but could actually be way more complicated than we ever imagined. So with all that said, here's the million-dollar question. Do you think Bow Wow was an early victim in this wild world of Diddy's parties? Or was he just soaking it all in, enjoying the lifestyle, which is why he misses it so much now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because trust me, the tea on this one is only getting hotter. Let's chat about whether these so-called party favors were really as innocent as we thought, or if there's a deeper story that we're just starting to scratch the surface of. And while you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos for more content like this.